Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Matthew back with another episode of Watty's channel. Today is Friday, August the 12th, and today's video is going to be another one of the comparable LJN figures. So today I did get a ton of new customs from one of my favorite sellers, Stanger GQ, over there on eBay, and I considered either doing a specialty video for his figures or continuing on with the series, and I decided to just stick with the comparable LJNs. That way, I get to mix and match different customizers and give everybody proper recognition as it should be. So I mentioned in the last video I did was the, I believe, Legion of Doom video. Next one I wanted to do was Macho Man. So Macho Man and the Macho King figures will be part of this video, and I've included a couple, some of the Miss Elizabeth slash Sensational Sherry figures as well, just as because again you really can't have a Macho Man without having Elizabeth right by his side. So digging right in, we are going to start with the original, I believe it was Series 2 Macho Man figure. Now, I decided to just grab one of the duplicates off of my shelf over here. I didn't want to mess with the original, main display. So, I've said it before, Macho Man, probably my third all-time favorite wrestler, just behind Hogan and Warrior. And so Macho Man as a character himself means so much to me. But the LJN figure of Macho Man is just not one of my favorites. It reminds me of the Brian Pillman or the Sting figures from Galoob. Yeah, I know this probably predated Galoob by 5 years plus, but I mean, hands up like that, it's decent. I mean, it's an adequate figure. I think I counted like 72 original LJN figures at one point, 72, 73, somewhere around there. If I had to come down and put all the figures in order, all the wrestlers, managers, it don't matter. If I were to put them in order, I'd probably list this at like number 35 or 40 or something. It's a decent figure. I mean, it's great for a collector. It's great for a kid who's wanting their favorite wrestlers to get this figure. But Macho Man, to me, I don't want to say one of the worst, but it's a mid-tier figure in general, and very simple colors and whatnot. But as a fan, it's great to have it. It's just not spectacular. So this is, of course, the LJN Series 2 original Macho Man figure. I'm trying to think which one I want to start with first. We'll start with the Macho King. This is one that came from Eric Boyer. I talked about him a lot. Wrestling writer on eBay. And this is probably, just looking at it, I'm thinking I'm still listing this as my favorite version of the Macho Man figure, and maybe it has something to do with the robe, a beautiful accessory, and you've got the Macho King on the back there. Just great artwork and detail around the trunks, and then you see that constant gold and purple around not only the trunks but the knee pads and onto the boots as well. So great color, and I like that he built in the crown into the head. Now sometimes you've got that accessory and it's nice to have it removable, but the only downside is that at one point it did get damaged during transit, so that kind of sucks that it broke off. If I was a smart man, here it is. What he actually asked me if I wanted to have him kind of like drill a hole in the hand, and that way he could actually hold the scepter. I told him no, I wanted it loose. I instantly regretted it the second I got the figure, because I think if that was molded into the hand, or at least had a hole drilled in where he could actually hold it, this would have been perfect. But again, among my Macho Man figures, this is probably my most favorite version of the Macho King or Macho Man version, with some amazing accessories. Again, wrestling writer, and it's writer as in writer, not ride as in car ride. I think one of the guys that was asking me about wrestling writer, trying to look up his shop, he had that wrong information, so I just want to clarify. So the next one, trying to think which should be a good version next to go with. Let's go with this one. This one is actually one of the newer figures from Robert Jackson, and I really had a hard time deciding which one I like better, the Robert Jackson version or the Wrestling Matter version. They're both sensational, and very similar detail as far as color scheme goes. And one thing I don't give enough appreciation about, so these laminate belts, I haven't been a huge fan of them. I prefer to go for the rubber versions, but the way that Robert does the insides with this Velcro, or what do you call that, the felt that's on the inside of the belts, that's different, that's unique. I haven't seen it from any other seller other than him, and I think that is so awesome. So not only does he do amazing work with his custom figures, but he also gives these really incredible upgraded versions of the belts. I think I like his belts more than most of the folks who kind of use these, laminate type of belts. So again, great figure, great detail. This one is blue with the headband and trunks, unlike the last one we looked at, which was purple and gold. And I like this little stencil on the back. And when you look at the color of the boots, this is why I had such a hard time deciding which one I liked more, because this is such great artwork. And kind of like looking at the original compared to a custom, you wonder why when I did my favorite LJN tournament, why all my customs won. I think the only exception was B. Brian Blair, and that's only because the Killer Bee version was great and the custom was unfinished. So again, it didn't really count. I don't think, not really. But this is such great artwork. Robert Jackson on eBay, guys. I want to do another specialty video for him and give a shout out to some amazing figures. When I first started buying from him, it was mostly just the Hasbro figures. And when I started finding on his shop, finding LJNs, man, I was just like ecstatic, because not only does he do this amazing work with Hasbro figures, but to get this really great work from LJN figures as well. This is an Intercontinental Championship belt. I mean, that's so good. I love this green belt. I really want to sport this one around his waist, but I mean, the Macho Man belt, I mean, it kind of, it meshes so well. But this one, Robert Jackson, another Macho King figure. Let's see. You know what I haven't been doing is including, well, that's fine. Here's a really well done Elizabeth figure, and kind of remove the skirt. I mean, I think this might actually be, if not number one, at least number two among my Elizabeth figures for best paint job. And same thing, it's got that little Macho Man stencil right on the trunks there, underwear. So incredible. I mean, overall design, changing out the purple for blue, and it's kind of like a dark blue, so it kind of looks purple as well. So just looking at it, I don't really see any blemishes or anything. So beautiful. And the skirt, I mean, again, it's a completely new, version, different interpretation of the figure. So having a black skirt works beautifully for this particular figure. And it's kind of what I want to do. I want to keep the Elizabeth figures with the Macho Man because it's just, they work well together. Of course, Elizabeth and Macho Man Randy Savage were actually married in real life, and every time I look at this figure, or think about Elizabeth and thinking how she died so young, it's a tragedy. It completely sucks. This one is one of the first customs I ever bought, at least first Macho Man customs. It is the first custom from Macho Man that I ever got, and this one was part of my LJN tournament, and it was a no-doubter. You were gonna have this Macho Man victorious over the original. The only downside about this is kind of like how they wrote Macho King on the back. So it could have been stenciled, but just the way it looks like it was handwritten kind of. But the colors and details of this figure is so amazing. Easily one of the best customs I own, and I've got hundreds of customs, or well, at least it feels that way. and the overall design is just so good. I wish I could remember who I bought this from. If I'm not mistaken, I think I only bought this one figure from the buyer one time, or from the seller one time. And knowing me, I like to give repeat business to folks, and having this great product is something I was so excited about, and only shopping one time, I'm kind of ashamed of that. But the Macho King custom, this was part of my LJN tournament. He did beat the original, and then moved on to round 2, and I think round 2 he lost immediately. I can't remember who he squared off against. Just kind of looking at my shelf, trying to see who he would have faced. This may have gone to round 3. I don't know. I can't remember. If anything, maybe Don Morocco beat him. Great figure. That is another Macho King. And of course, you have the original Elizabeth figure. I've been buying up a lot of these originals. With so many Macho Man figures, I always want to have Elizabeth right by his side, so I kind of have to go out and get new Elizabeth figures to kind of tag team with her husband, ex-husband. All right, so let's go with this one first. This is the first Stanger GQ Macho Man figure I purchased, and it was the Mega Powers Macho Man Randy Savage. And get rid of the belt here. What I really liked was the Mega Powers on the backside. And I don't know if it's the belt or maybe it's too hot down here, which, my wife won't even come into this basement. She always feels like it's freezing cold down here, but it looks like the Mega Powers are starting to bleed, which really sucks because this is such a phenomenal figure. I've always been like crazy weirded out by seeing Macho Man wear Hulk Hogan's colors. Even in actual wrestling matches in real life, it's just not his color. It just doesn't work for him, I don't think. But the Mega Powers were always my favorite tandem. I don't know if I necessarily call them a tag team per se. Sure, they teamed up here and there, but they weren't a legitimate tag team. Like the Nasty Boys, Legit Doom, etc. So again, this is the first Stanger GQ Macho Man and Elizabeth figure I bought, and with the Mega Powers colors, so great. And even Elizabeth, like I said, with the Robert Jackson version, it's really hard. I still gravitate towards the yellow Mega Powers Elizabeth more than anything. Especially with the little rose design on her shirt, it's just so amazing. But these are just two absolute great figures, and it's really hard to put a say on which one you like better. But for the sake of this conversation, I'm still listing 1 and 2, but still perfect pieces. And trying to see if there's anything else that kind of stands out. Nope, I pretty much discussed this before. This one is one of the brand new figures, another Macho King. Sadly, it's got some, not really paint loss, but it looks like it's been marked up with glue or whatnot. Still a great figure. I jumped on this immediately. And it is another Macho King figure, of course. And I believe this one, I'm kind of looking at the figures, I can't remember which one came with which. I think the crown came with this figure. And I'm trying to think if it came with Robert Jackson's figure or if it came with this one. I think it was this one. But so when you kind of look at the two accessories, it's great to have that ability to remove it, but I think having it stuck to the head is also so amazing. But because it's was built in, it makes it harder for delivery. As you can see, the damage there. But a T-shirt of Macho King, so perfect. And again, there's like mega, glue on the back, which kind of sucks, which kind of detracts from the overall perfection of this figure. But overall, so great. And when you look at Wrestling Writer and Stanger GQ's 2 versions, they are very similar in certain areas, of course. Oh, sorry, guys. Trying to give you as close of a look as possible here. So, Macho Man, not one of my favorite figures, yet he's definitely one of those characters who I gravitate towards like crazy when I see these customs. And to me, they're all new figures, so it's like seeing Hasbro put out like 4 different Hulk Hogan figures over 5 series, etc. So, or see like a Series 3 Perfect and a Series 8 Hasbro Perfect. So, you know, you can have different color schemes, whatnot. To me, that makes it a completely new character or a completely new figure. So, yeah, I'm gonna keep buying them for as long as they're out there. They're just too good. Now, this Elizabeth, I think was actually this wasn't Elizabeth. This was actually Sensational Sherry. This one, so I've talked about it in the past when I did my Raider Nation figures review. So on the Raider Nation, Kenny Lester, the artist who makes the LJN custom LJNs, I talked about how you could feel the paint on the figures, but they're not like sticky or anything. You could feel the paint, but it's like a nice smooth coat and whatnot. On here, you could actually feel the paint, but it feels not slimy, but it does have that stickiness. Whoever did this, they did adequate. I mean, it's a custom figure. I'm okay with it, but there are certain areas. I don't know if you can really see it on the computer screen there. Where you can see the purple down here. You can see the little purple right around here. The bottom of the shoes weren't filled in completely, so even on the back, you got specks of purple throughout the back here. So they just probably took a marker or took some paint, just painted over it. I like how they had this little drawn straps here. I'm glad to have it. I mean, no complaints from me. Is it perfect? No, but I mean, it does the job. But I'm kind of looking at my Jack's Classic Superstars Sensational Sherry, where she's all in white. So that's what this was supposed to be. One Macho Man started having Sherry as his manager. And then he lost one match, got his butt kicked by Sherry, and Elizabeth jumps out of the crowd and then jumps her, and it was great. So, Sensational Sherry. And that right now looks like the conclusion of my Macho Man figures. So this will probably be the next video I post. I've been kind of messing up today, so I had been doing really well, posting a video every 3 days and for like a couple weeks there, and I just ran out of videos. So last video I made was Sunday night or Sunday afternoon. That was the Q&A video, and then I posted that Monday, which meant Thursday should have been my next posted video, but that didn't happen. So with this video, I'm going to post this on Friday. I'm going to make a few more videos today, hopefully at least one more, but I'm going to try and come back with at least 3 more videos, and that way I have them ready in queue to be loaded up on their set dates. Well, everyone, again, thank you for watching, and if you have any questions or recommendations, as always, definitely reach out. I try to respond as quickly as possible if I can. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you later. Goodbye for now.